Good afternoon, the Outback Hotel reception.
Sweet, got us a drone. Hacked a drone, bullseye.
Is that you again, Mozzie? For the 5th time today, mate. Please stop ringing. I'm really pleased for you, but you've got to stop ringing, man.
No worries, mate.
Bye for now. Literally 5th time today. G'day, troops. That's my attempt at an Aussie accent. It's alyttleton here again with another video, and this time we're looking at how to defend Outback. So Outback got reworked recently, and I actually think it's a really good addition to the ranked map pool. It's a really good fun map to play because you can attack it in different ways. You know what, if you're playing Clubhouse or you're playing Cafe or you're playing Oregon, you generally know which way the attack's going to come. And Outback, because it's quite sort of new still and fresh, the attacks are so dynamic and come from different parts of the map, and it just makes it a fun map to play. So we're going to go through all 4 sites with how I like to defend them, where the lines of sight go, what's getting reinforced, and where the rotates go. I also play a few different operators during each site because there's a few little tips and tricks that you can see for each site as we go through. In this one as well, I've also included a couple of gameplay clips from when I'm streaming. I also stream, by the way, twitch.tv/alyttletontwitch. Go and check it out and follow right now and come and say hello. Thank you. From when I'm streaming, so you can see some of the things I'm saying in practice. They're all from ranked games, so you can see that what I'm telling you does actually work. So I think that's probably enough waffling. We should probably get on the video. Get stuck right into it, mate. I'm sorry, I can't do an Aussie accent. Right then, so we'll start with Piano and Laundry, which is actually my least favorite site after the rework. It's still the most popular that people play, but I think it's the hardest to defend. But as it's the most popular, we'll start with it. 10 reinforcements are used as well, so the 2 walls out of the 3 that go from Piano to Games, we're going to leave that one soft. 1 that goes from Games into Barbecue. The 2 Games to Bull walls. 1 of the Games into Shower walls. 1 of the Shower into Laundry walls. 2 external walls. Then finally, 1 of the Laundry into Piano walls. And that's all 10. In terms of lines of sight, there's a few to be made here. So the first one you're going to make is here. From Laundry into the hallway. Then going to make another rotate from Piano into Games as tight to this left-hand wall as you can. Like this. We're then going to make a small line of sight from Games into Barbecue. I called it, this isn't actually called Barbecue, by the way. I call it Barbecue, well, you guessed it, because there's a massive barbecue there. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone ever call this out, like terrace, bench. I don't know, I call it Barbecue. It's up to you guys what you want to call it. I'll rotate here that goes from Piano into Laundry. And then 1 more line of sight, as high as you can, when stood up, looking down at the breach from about here. You can see there, you can see the breach outside there. You can also make it here if you want to instead, and you get a wider angle there and don't expose yourself to the soft wall. Make it wherever you want. This is probably the safer play on this side. Right, in terms of a shield placement, I generally always place mine here as standard. Obviously, you've got to watch this window, but you are covered from the window if you play on the angle like this. And you can hold the back stairs and also peek out into Piano. If you don't want to play it there, you can put your shield here, but I don't recommend this because depending what elo you play in, 99 times out of 10, you're going to get grenaded from below. This angle here is right in green and red bedroom below, and there's a clip I had when I was playing Finca. In fact, I'll put the clip in the video where this happened. See, he's just made vertical there, so he's there again. So as you can see there was at least 2 people stood on this sort of common angle to hold here into Barbecue or terrace again, whatever you want to call it. And it's an easy place to grenade because you can use the bomb as like as a guide as to where you want to grenade. So I don't like putting the shield there. I'm going to do a quick test now. Can you put the shield on the flight cases? I've never tried. I'm going to try right now. It doesn't appear that you can. If you can, let me know. It doesn't appear that you can. Quick test over. Let's move on. So, open the hatch as well. You can escape here if you need to. I really don't like this side to play. This long hallway here with no cover is a nightmare to play with. In my opinion, this should be like a box, like maybe here. Or just something that you can take a bit of cover behind. This is why I normally play my shield here. Just so you've got something a little bit, like something to just take a bit of cover behind this whole long corridor. The attack mainly is going to come from the breach here. From Dorm's window. This room reminds me a little bit of Geisha on Skyscraper because it's so hard to hold on to from so many different angles. If you can hold on to dorms, though, you're usually doing a pretty decent job. But because there's a drone also close, You can nade the denial off the wall. You can get a flourish drone, a twitch drone, whatever it is, in so easily to open it. Difficult to hold this room, but as soon as the attackers have this room, that's when they progress the next, they execute. Oh, sorry, I missed the line of sight. My apologies. And a line of sight that goes along there as well. All these lines of sight, yes, they give attackers ways to look into the site, but they also mean you can hold certain doors as well. We reinforce these 2 walls, so if the attackers want to push through games, they have to come through the wall, or obviously hard breach this. And, you know, depending on how many hard breach operators they bring, it reduces the utility pool. But it means you can hold bull from here. What's really nice, if you can put a mirror window here, just watch yourself from the long angle when you're coming down here to the dorms window. Don't go too far. Obviously, you've got the shower window to worry about as well. So we make that line of sight there. We make the line of sight here because if they don't push games and they're pushing through terrace or barbecue, you can hold the door. You can hold this door here. Remember, the lines of sight that you make, obviously they're going to benefit attackers because you could say, well, actually, an attacker could come and hold here instead then. Well, yeah, they could, but they've got to get there first. And the reason we make these lines of sight is so they can't get there. But if you reinforce both of these, an attacker can get into this area here and just know they're completely safe because these 2 walls are reinforced. The only place an attacker has to worry about here is if they're going to push into sight or to be flanked from here. And you can just worry, you don't have to worry about that with a nomad air jab there and a nomad air jab over in that area. With having this wall open, it means the attackers have to worry about it. And there's loads of different maps with loads of different lines of sight where you can do things like that. So attackers have to worry about more angles. I've seen in lower elo, you tend to see it where people will just like castle barricade themselves in and they'll barricade this door and they think, right, now we're safe here. Well, actually, by barricading that door, it just means that an attacker can walk through here. He's going to drone underneath here. He's going to see that's barricaded and they just walk in. If these 2 walls were reinforced and this was barricaded, they just walk in and they get bench, barbecue, terrace, whatever you want to call it, just completely free of charge without being contested. By having that, obviously don't barricade that, but by having this line of sight here, it doesn't mean you have to peek it, but it means the attackers have to spend more time to drone it and figure out what's going on. But yeah, that's this site. Like I say, I tend to play in laundry, play up here, holding onto the breach, holding onto a bit of dorm's window, which you can just peek. Yeah, like that, and down the long corridor. From here, you can get all different angles. You've just got to worry about the longer angle there, which is difficult in SMG11, but the stairway is always a late push as well. But yeah, that's Piano Laundry, my least favourite site to hold since the rework. So we move on to office and party then, and again, we've got 10 reinforcements, so it's a fair amount of setup. There's a lot of lines of sight we're going to have to make again. I actually think this is a better site than Piano and Laundry. It's a bit easier to defend in my opinion. But again, the other one's more popular for some reason. But we'll go with the 10 reinforcements then. So you've got the 1 wall from office onto, I suppose we'll call it garage stairs area. You've got the 1 wall between office and party. The 1 wall between office supplies and top garage. The 2 breach walls and office supplies. Or I don't really know what I haven't got a call out for this yet. I guess you call it supplies. I think that's 5 we've done, I think. You've then got 2 walls between party and bulk. A single wall between party and I guess we'll call it sort of bottom shark stairs. And then 2 reinforcements between bull and bull and games. Now, if I haven't mentioned it, we've also done the 2 middle ones between bull and party. I might have mentioned that we went around the other side. I can't remember. I've not got a very good memory. In terms of lines of sight, then we want 1 shotgun hole here. It means you can just hold the stairs, or anyone going to the bottom of the stairs late in the round. And also the entrance from sort of kitchen area that way as well. We then also want a rotate here in the corner. It's really difficult, you know, to do the full setup and remember what I haven't already done. Then want to rotate between, as we'll call it, supplies. This only needs to be small, between supplies and top garage. You then want a similar hole to what we made out at the top of here. Oh, wait, hang on, sorry, here. You want a similar hole onto the garage stairs. Again, you don't want this to be massive. You just need a little peek hole so you can hold an angle there if you need to. And then you want a line of sight here and here. Also open the hatch, because there's no harm in opening the hatch, especially when you're playing above. If you were playing below, you wouldn't open the hatch, but you're not going to have an attacker come and stand under the hatch and hold above it. It's just a good escape route if you need it. The only problem is I can hear the f***ing jukebox now, and I can't do anything about it, because I really... No, I'm jumping down and running back up. I can't listen to it. Jukebox down. Right, okay. Sorry we've had to take this time out of the video to go and get rid of the jukebox, but I just have to get rid of it, man. Right then, why have we reinforced why have we... I think I just went... Right, why have we reinforced what we've reinforced? So, this wall, so you can't just get an angle from the stairs onto the doorway here. The 2 walls here because a lot of the time the push will come from the game side, and it just means by having these walls reinforced, again, they've got to use hard breach utility to get an angle into the rest of the ball. If they don't bring hard breach utility up here, the only place they can push through is the door, and you can hold a doorway much easier than you can hold a doorway and an open wall. Coming around this side, we talked about that one. 2 main breach walls are fairly obvious. I'm not going to talk about that. The 2 middle walls here, and then you've got the 2 lines of sight either side. So just make that line of sight a little bit closer to the reinforcement so you don't have to over peek, but you can see that one's already there. So again, now, like I say, the main push usually is going to come from games, or at least some of the push. Here, you can now hold out into the window. You can hold games from here. You can also get a different angle if you need to. From there, it's a really nice long angle to hold here. Attackers who come around that corner are absolutely not expecting you to be holding that angle. Probably not the best to do with an SMG-11, but if you've got like a WMI with an MP5K and a 1.5, it's a nice angle to hold. We've reinforced this single wall because you can play here, holding that angle that way and that way without getting dome from garage. It just gives you a little bit of protection from there as well. And if you do lose office on the other side of this wall, if you do lose this part of the site, and you've got someone on garage door here, at least that whole wall's not soft. You've got somewhere to just take a bit of shelter behind. Rotate here, obviously, to go between the 2 sides. And then the rotate between supplies and top garage is really imperative. If you've got a shield, I would probably place the shield here. You can play the shield to hold bits of garage and to hold garage stairs. Now, it's a real nightmare to hold this breach. It's not easy to do because the floor's soft. It's probably going to get opened. But you'll notice I've brought mute instead. So there's a couple of important mute jammers. This one, obviously, you'd ideally use a Cade instead. But this mute jammer here is really important to winning this site. If you can mute off that drone hole, it really helps you out. That drone hole circles round to the right. So that mute jammer actually blocks the drone off when it gets to like in line with about here, but on the other side of that wall. So it's a really strong mute jammer. The other drone hole you want to mute off is another one that leads right into the site over in this corner. So not only does this cover the door, it also covers that drone hole. Now, depending where you put that mute jammer, you can sometimes as an attacker get an angle to try and just take the corner of the mute jammer off. If they do, then they do. You know, you can... There's only so much you can do to try and protect it. I was going to say you could maybe even try and get it behind the water machine there. But I still think if they went prone on that drone hole, there'd probably be an angle on it. Let's find out. Let's do the test right now. It's not a rush, are we? We're not time constrained by a video. So you can just see the corner of that mute jammer there. From this side, we just learned something. Put the mute jammer the other side of the water machine. Because from here, if you're an attacker, you can shoot the mute jammer. If you're an attacker and you want to get rid of it from the other side of the water machine, you can't do it. Obviously, the only thing is with it being on the water machine is it doesn't mute the door. But that drone hole, the amount of times you see a drone just sat in that drone hole looking at the whole site, it's all the time. The other mute jammers I suggest you do, we've already, pretend we've placed that one down, but I've just destroyed one, so I haven't got a spare. The other mute jammer, I would either put top garage stairs. I know it's a proper rubbish mute jammer, but by the time that's going to do its job as they try and drone up these stairs. By the time they get to this point here, they're not going to be droning up the stairs anymore, and yes, the jammer will be shot. You don't want to put one there. I'd put one at the bottom of that window or the bottom of this window. Push also comes from garage quite a lot on this site. That's what I like about Outback, though, is it's so dynamic. There's loads of different ways to attack. You know, on Clubhouse, say CCTV or Cafe, top floor, everyone pushes the same side all the time. I feel with Outback, there's like 3 or 4 different attacks you can do with 3 or 4 different sides. But yeah, that's office and party the way I play it. So we move on to green and red bedroom, which is my favorite site on the whole map. I just enjoy playing it. It's so much fun. In terms of reinforcements, you've got the hatch here in closet. You've got the 2 closet walls. You'll see I'm playing Legion. There's a reason for that in a minute. That's 3. You've then got the 2 walls from red bedroom into reptile or gecko hallway. That's 5. And then the 2 walls that go from red bedroom out to sort of bottom laundry stairs, bottom yellow, whatever you call this, back entrance, apparently. Now, you might think, why don't we make a line of sight here like we have elsewhere? We could reinforce this one and just leave this one soft, and it means we could hold the attackers from here. There's just something about this site where I don't like holding that line of sight because it's so close to the edge of the map. Attackers literally just have to stand here and they have a free line of sight into the map and they just walk back out. Do you know what I mean? It's like... I just don't like doing that. I feel like it gives too much to the attackers too soon. So yeah, I don't do a line of sight there. The rest of the reinforcements are pretty obvious. Now, you'll see I'm playing Legion, where we want to make a rotate this side of the wall. We want to make a rotate this side of the wall. Now, you'll notice I have got impacts, but I'm going to show you a little trick that I think pretty much everyone knows now anyway, but it's a little bit cheesy and it wasn't really intended, but it's in the game and it's staying. You can make a rotate by jumping on this freezer, chest freezer, I think that is, yeah, on that chest freezer, on this fridge, and you can jump over here. This doesn't work with a shotgun, and it does work with C4, but it's best with impact. So you can't shotgun this stuff out, you can only impact it. So impact the cabinets, and impact the top of this wall. Try not to make too much of a line of sight above if you can. Get rid of this stuff. And you can now actually make a line of sight that you can hold over here to start with. Right near reception. You can hold this door and the door that's below you here. But also you can vault over this. You know, which is an insane rotate late round. You know, if you're in a 2v2 and you've got like, well, you know, one of the attackers is on this door holding this angle. And you can late round, you know, do this and push behind them. You know, it's an insanely good rotate. And it's only one way, obviously. The attackers can't benefit from it this side. The thing you just have to worry about is grenades over the top. Anyway, in terms of where to hold, by the way, there's a completely random tip I'm going to give you here. This is known as Seaway's spot. Seaway sits right here almost every round on Outback. And when the attackers, they come from this door quite a lot, or from this window, or even just from garage in general. When they drone down here, I've tried it myself, they never, ever, ever loot right here. If you stand here, or sit here, crouch here, on a defending cell, when you're defending, right, lean in, tuck in a little bit. Don't move when the drone comes past, and I guarantee you get misdroned every time. Another place not a lot of people check is you can get under here. If you punch out the chair. Hang on. There we go. You punch out the chair, you can get under there. But the observant attackers might notice that the chair's not there. But I'm telling you now, this has got such a high success rate. No one ever looked right. And as soon as the attacker walks past, bop. That's just a little random one for you. Right, so that's it really. There's not much to say about this site. I like making a whole line of sight all the way across here. I play Tachanka sometimes. In fact, I got an ace and Tachanka on this map. Let's roll that clip. Roll that clip right now.
Yellow by the sound of things, mate. Oh, you've got the fuse.
I have indeed, mate.
Firing grenade!
Op 4, last stop standing.
Don't get greedy.
So that was just playing Tachanka on this site. You can see I put a rotate here, and a line of sight all the way across using the LMG. Put my shield here. If you get rid of this sort of stuff, you can jump on here, you can prone, and you can go... You see how I go down there? If I go right, I go up a little bit. See how I just went up a bit? I've dropped down. See how I just went back up? You can now hold that door. If I ping it, I'll show you. I mean, you just saw it in the Tachanka clip, but I'll show you anyway, because we're here. We're not in a rush, are we? Oh, I've pinged a bloody hat. Let's just make that line of sight quickly. Where will that be from here? About there. Hopefully that's enough. Obviously, it's a lot easier to do the shotgun with Tachanka's LMG. So from here, once you go up, you can see now that's that doorway there. That's the vending machine. That's about head height. I ping that there. You look about where that is. It's a little bit higher than head height. But if you do a bit of wiggling on top of that unit, you can just hold head height over there. The angle's ridiculous. You're peeking it from like here and here. It's outrageous. But yeah, I really like holding this site. Key to winning it really is it's difficult to not let an attacker through this door and in this area here. You can really try and hold reception and garage. But most of the push is going to come from above with fuse through this doorway here. I don't even know what you call this. Bottom laundry, yellow stairs, I guess. It used to be called bottom laundry, but I think most people call it yellow now. But yeah, it's a fun site to try and hold. The final site then is mechanics and kitchen. So in terms of reinforcements, we've used 8. 2 that go from kitchen into motel reception area. The hatch above. A lot of these reinforcements are above, or some of them are anyway. Single wall here between mechanic shop and where the truck is. I call it truck. It's called waiting room, but I call it truck. The 2 bottom garage walls. Here and here. And then if we nip upstairs, We mentioned the hatch already. I'll show you where the hatch is again quickly. The hatch is here. That's reinforced. And then the 2 external supply walls. Just to make it a little bit more difficult for them to get in above. Now, you want to be playing somebody above here. Reinforce these walls and have somebody playing around this area, top garage. It's a nightmare to play. You're probably going to die, but you need to just delay time and delay the enemy as much as you can. So that's upstairs. Downstairs, I don't really play this site very much, if I'm honest with you. A lot of it's already pre-reinforced. In terms of rotates, when I say pre-reinforced, what I mean is there's not a lot of soft walls that lead into the site. I'll make a rotate both ends here. When I say pre-reinforced, I mean like even in kitchen, there's 2 soft walls around. Oh, this whole wall all the way around here is all like solid wall. The only 2 soft walls here are here. So when I say pre-reinforced, I don't mean you spawn in and it's already like this. I mean there's just, you know, there's not many soft walls to worry about. So yeah, it's quite a big site to cover because there's a lot of area. There's a rotate here that I like to use. You can hold this area here into garage, make a line of sight here. Make a line of sight into garage, hold an angle there. You can also hold if they jump across through this big window here. Which is, if they vault through that window, you can hold across there. But you can also just nip in and out quickly. It's just easy for navigating. Just got to watch this window, obviously. If no one's holding this area, don't put that rotate there, because they can just come straight through this window and vault straight inside. So, I usually play in here. This is a nice little place to stand. Anyone that's coming through the front doors here will generally push through and be like this. Completely don't look for you there. Again, depending what elo you're playing, you might get droned out if you play in slightly higher elo. We've already shot the jukebox. I haven't really got much to say about this one. I don't really know any like little tips for you and what to hold. They're just the lines of sight that I make, the rotates that I make. You can play a decent angle into garage from behind the counter here. Can you put your shield on the counter? I don't think I'd want to, because we're trapped if we do, but can you? You can indeed. So you can put a shield there. And even easier to hold into garage, you can play behind the shield. But the only thing with putting the shield there is obviously you've got nowhere to go. Your only escape is this way. Maybe back out through the rotate. If I'd made the rotate better, that is. Maybe back out through the rotate. Maybe. That could be a play. Come back through this side. Hiya! What a move. What an absolute move. The old flip side double switchback. Yeah, I'm just waffling now for a change. I don't really know what to tell you about this side. Hold upstairs and shoot the enemy when you see him is my advice there, really. So there we have it. That's Outback. As I said at the beginning of the video, a fun map to play and something I think is a good addition to the rank pool. For those of you that don't know, I stream on Twitch 4 days a week. I did mention that earlier on in the video, but I'm saying it again. Twitch.tv/alyttletontwitch, exactly the same as YouTube. I'm there 4 nights a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 PM UK time. Be good to see you over there as well. But that's enough for me on this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.